Welcome in to the Fantasy Football Game Show, brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy and Better Sports Network. Today, I am your host, JL Garoppolo, joined by my good buddy, Joey Wright. And we got our special guest today, our good friend, Kevin Tompkins. You can find all this stuff over at Fantasy Alarm. Oh, Kevin, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, fellas? This is the first time Craig actually said something about it. My 7th Front Yard Fantasy appearance, but I've not been here for what we're doing today. So very excited to do a mock draft with you guys today.
Yes, today we got our last mock draft. The NFL season, of course, starts tomorrow with
Better late
Thursday
than
night
never,
football.
right?
Better late than never. I still got one. I got my family league draft left.
Okay.
A bunch of my nephews and nieces. I'm just gonna wreck. Probably deliver some nice early childhood trauma too, so that they never play fantasy football again. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to onboard people to fantasy football, right?
I think so.
Just wrecking.
Yeah. We have our listener league as well starting.
We do our listener league.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, we saw jail. We're still in the woods, man.
We are. So we got a mock draft for y'all today. SFlex mock draft that we will be kicking off shortly. But before we do, Kevin was right. Craig in the chat said today is Kevin's 7th FYF appearance. First time doing the mock draft. And we got some more folks in the chat. We got Craig in here. We got Dave with the party hats. We got Jay. Grim fan, what's going on, Grim? We got Andrea. What's going on, Andrea? Good to see you all, my friends. I see Damon Scampers in there, the California kids. Ladarius in here. What up, Ladarius? Whew. Before we get into this mock draft, though, Grim brought up a good topic, which it seems like everyone was talking about yesterday, this Kelsey injury. Kevin, yesterday we got some news about Kelsey having hyperextended knee, and then today it came out that it's a bone bruise. How are you feeling about Kelsey? How are you operating? Like, what decisions are you making when it comes to Kelsey going into the season?
I mean, this is almost like best case scenario, right? There's no, from what we know, no ligament damage. His brother, Jason Kelsey, said he should be ready to go out there, but, we still got to kind of wait and see with, we'll get some stuff probably early tomorrow at some point, based on the actual determination. But I think some of the draft stuff, I can understand the hesitancy, but like being able to get Kelsey in like the mid-second was kind of, to me, a bit overblown because of the fact that we did get that news yesterday as well about no ligament damage, that it certainly avoided the ACL. So I'm fine with drafting Kelsey kind of how he was. I didn't draft a lot of Kelsey this year, though, just because I feel like I could have gotten value with Andrews and some of those lower guys, later in drafts and not having to spend that premium pick on Kelsey. So Kelsey's going to be Kelsey. I think he's going to be fine, but I mean, it's just we avoided the bad stuff. That's the important thing.
It's crazy. I was telling people draft Kelsey, 101, 102. I was pretty high on him. I went and looked at my teams to see okay, where am I going to replace him? And I only had 2 spots where I had Kelsey, and I was kind of sad because of course I wanted him more. But the injury expert Adam Hutchinson came out and said 2 to 4 weeks is the max with a bone bruise. So that's kind of good news. It's almost like he's on the pup.
I didn't even know bones could bruise.
I know. Let's try.
They can.
The more you know.
Let us know. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this mock draft, which we can get started here. We got a 12-team SFlex redraft, mock draft that we will be drafting live for you all today. See, Kevin is drafting from the 5th spot. Joey is in the 10th spot, and I'm right behind Joey, just where I like to be.
Well, that's sweet. Oh,
I had to start. All right, here goes the draft.
Dave's kicking us off tonight.
Yep, Dame has got the first pick. We got Scott Fish in here said, "Oh, can I get in this mock?" No, you cannot. Sorry. No Scott Fish is allowed. That's the rule. And also it's full. If only you were 30 seconds earlier. Kevin, who are you taking at the first overall pick this year in mock drafts? Is it, I guess in SFlex, which quarterback?
First overall, it's kind of been a mix because I feel like at least Mahomes and Hurts are probably equal footing. I'm probably taking Mahomes more than Hurts. If there's rushing bonuses, I'm going to be taking Hurts, but more than likely it's Mahomes. And then I'm up here, it's a really an easy pick for me because I think Justin Herbert's got 5,000-yard passing upside, 35 touchdowns, just with the Kellen Moore, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, just that glut of great talent that he's got to be available with him. So it's an easy pick for me over Burrow and Fields.
Nice. It really does feel like Herbert is getting he just wasn't talked about very much. I think that just came down to the fact that he's been consistently solid as a quarterback, but really he was a forgotten one this offseason.
Yeah, and now with we've obviously Burrow had his injury issues, and then Fields with the offensive issues that he still has to overcome to be able to be worth that draft slot. I think it makes it easier to have Herbert over that group of three and then Lamar Jackson.
So you put Lamar Jackson in the back of that group?
Yeah, I think I think he's closer to that top three than the next tier below him, certainly.
Oh, this spot sucks.
Ooh. I'm sorry.
You guessed a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
all right.
We're 8-2, yeah. Kevin, I like Herbert a lot this season, but especially for week 1, I have him rated as my QB2. I am all in on Justin Herbert in that game.
That's the matchup. If you're gonna pick, honestly, if we're looking at week 1 and just the full slate, it's kind of gross. There's only a couple matchups that are I really want to watch this. For my own personal reasons, I want to see Falcons Panthers because I do want to see how Bijan gets in there. Bengals Browns can kind of be a sneaky one, but the marquee matchup outside of Island games has to be Dolphins Chargers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a lot of good running back values this week if you're playing DFS. I know we're doing a mock draft here that you can really spend up on the Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Jalen Waddle picks this week.
Yeah, I will say this. I'll throw this in there. Samaje Perine is my favorite RB pay down. I think he's only 5K on DraftKings, but it would not surprise me if he saw 70% of the carries and Javonte, they work him into packages and kind of ramp him up. But for week 1, Samaje Perine's a lock button guy for me.
Kevin, we don't have you on here enough. I truly believe that.
Safe word.
Yeah, I'm all in on Perine this season.
Yeah, all off season, Joe's been going around putting his Perine in people's ears. Not sure why. We got Albert in the chat said, "Hello, everyone. What up, Albert?" Welcome,
Albert.
And Tim in the chat says, "Joey in the middle of the snipe zone. My goodness." Yeah.
What did I snipe?
He's just saying you're placed right in the middle of his snipe zone. You're going to snipe him a lot.
Well, he'll snipe me too. It's mutual sniping going on here.
If he's good enough. I
think Tim's good enough. We came from the same womb.
He's good enough too.
Yeah.
We got Kenny in here asking a question. Should I trade Amari Cooper for Cooper Kupp? Ooh, a Cooper trade. I already have DK, T. Higgins, Drake London, and Zay Flowers in full PPR. Kevin, what are you doing with this trader? Would you trade Amari Cooper for Cooper Kupp?
It certainly isn't optimal that Cooper Kupp had to go see a specialist. That's not what you want to hear. You want to hear good things and, things that confirm your priors. That's where I'm at. But if in the outset, if you're feeling like Cooper Kupp, is got a big road ahead of him as far as getting back healthy. I think Amari Cooper is a solid enough return to trade for him straight up. I just can't quit the talent of Cooper Kupp and knowing what he can do on a per game basis. He was the wide receiver 1 after, as far as points per game. So that's really hard to give up. But I don't mind Amari Cooper either. So being able to at least get that kind of return for him, if you're not feeling up to, wanting to wait out the whole saga, I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's a good call. We had Scott Fish in the chat who said, "I will cede all my scheduled shows to Kevin." There you go, Kevin.
There you go.
Isn't that positive?
Work here.
Look at that. Let me clear the calendar. Let's go.
We got Philly Mike in here with a question. He said, "Need some help. Pick 2 for my super flex. Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Anthony Richardson. Which of these 2 are you guys starting?"
Probably Pickett and Richardson for me.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'm scared off of Jimmy G right now. I want to see him play a little bit before I'll trust him. And Pickett versus San Francisco, that's a scary matchup. Now it is super flex. I would like to know what your other options are, because you don't necessarily have to start 2 quarterbacks. Just being honest, like the Pickett and Jimmy G, that kind of scares me a little bit. Richardson, I can roll with that. See what the kid does. He's going to run for 5,000 yards this season.
What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm probably Richardson, and then both are tough. I think I would still kind of lean Jimmy G. Okay. I mean, it's kind of gross, but I mean, you have to kind of pick your poison in that. But yeah, but Joey's right. I do want to see if you've got options that are startable, because you don't have to put the quarterback in the super flex. So, I mean, that's what I'm doing in Scott Fishbowl is I am starting. I believe I have Christian Kirk in my super flex spot because I have one quarterback, and we will be up against it in week 5 when Deshaun Watson's on his bye week.
Well, that's a problem for week 4.
Let's future Kevin worry about that.
That's future Kevin's problem.
Kevin right now, he's living the life with Christian Kirk in his super flex spot.
Look, it's either him or Pickens. I drafted about 9 wide receivers in the first 12 rounds, so we're living the high life.
It's hard not to be a little optimistic about Pickens with all these crazy catches he's making.
It really is, though. That's confirming your priors. That's we love to see it.
And Gizzy asking, where's Simon? Simon got something called Flu B. I told him he got the T. Higgins of flus.
Mm-hmm. Flu B. I just got that reference.
It's a deep bet. Kevin back on the clock here, following up your third pick, going after Justin Herbert and Stephon Diggs. Joey's got Justin Fields, Austin Eckler. I got Christian McCaffrey, Deshaun Watson. Joey, looks like you just copied me, but inverse.
Yes. That is basically what I try to do with my life. Just do whatever JL does, just backwards.
Push it inverse. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, the double tight end. This is interesting. So Kelsey falling 2 rounds to Kevin here. And then Andrew's going immediately after Kelsey.
I think that feels good. It feels good because I feel like Dustin would have taken Kelsey.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. At what point would you have pulled the trigger on Andrews if Kelsey was there?
I mean, I would have if someone had taken Kelsey, I would have thought about Andrews there. I mean, that's so to see Kelsey there, I don't think there's a lot of separation with. I mean, I think Kelsey is certainly more. I don't even know if I can even say he's consistent. I think Andrews is very close to Kelsey, but it's hard to pass up Kelsey there. And then to see Andrews go right after, it makes me feel better about kind of the valuation there. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't say anything if somebody wanted to take Andrews over Kelsey, just with the news that we have.
I think at this point, I think I would, especially at cost, if depending on what that cost for Kelsey ends up being. I mean, it's a 3rd round pick here in this mock draft, but it's going to vary widely, especially in home drafts.
Yeah, certainly.
We got Calvin in here with a question. Our boy Calvin, what up? He said, 10 team, 1 QB league, took Kelsey at the 107 and no backup. Waivers have Dulcich, Chigozie Okonkwo, Cole Kmet, Kate Otten, Sam Laporta, and Noah Gray. Thoughts? Are you guys picking up any one of these tight ends off the waiver wire?
Probably taking Laporta.
Yeah, I said it on the show yesterday. If Laporta's sitting on your waiver wire, I like him just stashing on your bench. I think he could do really great things in Detroit. But Dulcich, I'm surprised. It's a 10-team league. Okay, I get it that he's out there. Yeah. Dulcich could be a nice addition. So either one of those two.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the stubbornness of Sean Payton because we know coaches, they don't care about fantasy football. They just wanted to obviously get wins, and Adam Troutman might be the biggest impediment to Dulcich getting the kind of routes that we want. So, there's a world where Adam Troutman plays 70% of the snaps and Dulcich is in on obvious pass plays, which hurts, and he would be the stone cold universal drop in week 2 if that happened. But there's also a world where those two just split and it's awful for everybody, or Dulcich just balls out in limited routes and you have to play. Even Sean Payton would be all right, we got to play this guy. What was I doing?
Right. Not even Sean Payton could stop Dulcich then.
I mean, the hair. Come on. As someone who doesn't have hair, maybe I'm a little more biased.
See, Kevin, I've never seen without a hat, so like
Not
was a
pretty.
revelation to me. I was hoping you had like a little cool, like little curly situation going under there. If it's bald,
Trust
that's fine.
me. I do have a picture of me on Twitter of me with Greg Dulcich hair, actually. So
nice.
So this is what I'm wanting to see.
I'll have to dig that up and put on the timeline today.
There we go.
Joey went Devontae Smith here after the Cooper Kupp pick here in the 3rd round.
I couldn't pass on Kupp because I feel like there's enough wide receiver depth later on in drafts that I can make up for it for a couple weeks and take the risk. But him falling to round 3, like that's just too good a value for me. I technically have him ranked behind Devonta Smith right now, but I just had to do it. And then I got Smith right after him anyways. And I'm not worried about that week 10 bye because I want to go to the beach that week.
So you have to shut off your phone and not worry about it. We got Terrell in here said, "What's up, guys? Good afternoon. What up, my friend? He said, need some help at Flex PPR. Must start. Ooh, is that Mostert or must start?
Mostert. I would think
Mostert.
Either way,
Raheem must start.
Raheem must start. There you go.
I like the Jahan Dotson play here. Being with McLaurin might be dealing with an injury. Dotson gets off to a hot start with Sam Howell. They create a friendship that lasts the ages. They both call in the Hall of Fame together in the same year. I'm writing the story right here. Start Dotson.
Starting Dotson. Kevin, are you with Joey here? You starting Dotson out of this group?
Out of this group, I think I'm. Man, I think I'm starting Raheem Mostert. I mean, I do like Dotson. The hype has been there. McLaurin has been practicing today. We have seen some of the videos. So, I mean, if Dotson were by himself, I think that you could probably lock him into double-digit targets. But just that game in the game environment, I think Raheem Mostert's got to be the starter. A-Chain has been practicing again too, but he's a little bit banged up. He's probably more of a situational guy that mixes in. But obviously Jeff Wilson's going to be missing the first 4 games. Give me Mostert.
Ooh, I figured out the other names. Elijah Moore and Sky Moore are also in this question. This is like a fun puzzle.
Yeah, it really is. Jaddison. I'm going to start calling him Jaddison now.
I like it.
Jaddison. I would consider Breece Hall there. I think he's someone who people are trying to stay away from. We know he's likely going to play this week. The news that we got from the team or from the coaching staff is that they're planning to use him smartly, whatever that means. I think they'll give him enough opportunities in this game to score some points.
Yeah, for sure. I am still a little bit worried that these coaches are just gonna stubbornly hold on to those guys and ramp them up more. Like week 1, I think you can it's defensible to sit him, but considering the draft capital, it can be hard. I'm probably still kind of hoping I have another option. If I have to play him, you got to play him. But, hoping you have another option that might be a little bit safer for week 1 until you see how he's going to be deployed. Because if he gets 60% of the running back, carries, I think it's obviously wheels up. But if he's getting like 25, 30%, like mixing into a committee, there's still ways to go.
Yeah, then it'll be ugly. And there's a chance that they just lean on Dalvin Cook that first week. They just, like you're saying, they want to give him that nice first week break. And that's a risk yet to take.
Right.
We got Swamp in here giving us his Jimmy John's league. Wanting us to rate his team. So he's got Josh Allen, Geno, Nick Chubb, Jacobs, Madison, and Pirine, and then CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Chris Godwin, Christian Kirk, Nico Collins. That's a pretty solid crew. And then Andrews and Everett at tight end.
Oh, Swamp, you get an A.
Yeah.
Really well balanced all around. Your receivers, I don't even want to call them weak, but of your team, that's where your weakness is at. But I don't think they're weak at all. So if you're looking to improve one area of your team, that'd be it. But I don't even think you need to improve it.
Yeah, that would be something if you posted out on Twitter, it'd be like, is that a 14
Damn you,
league,
Tim,
bro?
right. Damn you! Oh,
the inverse snipe zone.
He's so. Mom doesn't even like him.
Swamps is having trouble with sleeper. Said my internet spotty. Sleeper won't open. Can't join this one. I looked at his team. All running backs. Straight running backs. That's a solid squad, though. He's going to be able to definitely trade running backs in this situation.
A lot of testosterone out of that 12 spot.
He's just taking running back by committee to like the absolute extreme.
Right. Yeah, that would be where I maybe sit Breece Hall.
Yeah, in that situation when you have Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, and Najee Harris, I'm sitting them.
Yeah.
I was talking to my nephews last night, and they are in high school, and they had one of their high school like state games. The team threw two passes the entire game. That sounds so boring.
I mean, what are they running the wishbone offense here? Or are they running like is Arthur Smith the head coach?
Oh, I'm making my second pick here.
I do want to address.
Walk us through. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I'll wait for your guys' picks. I was going to say something.
Oh, nice pick, JL.
Thank you.
I had two guys in my queue. That was the top. I'll take the second guy in my queue.
There you go. I do want to address Craig and Dustin in the chat saying that to remove my 0 RB membership now and has I don't know about drafting running backs like crazy from Dustin, but look, you have to grow up at some point. I am still the full ideological drafter I've always been, but when faced with an ADP that running backs get pushed down in, I think everybody has to adjust. So, and I'm not immune to that.
Can we hit Philly Mike's question about DFS?
Of course.
He says, for DFS, who's a sneaky $3,000 player you would play? Tutu Atwell, Marvin Mims Jr., or Josh Downs? I like Marvin Mims a lot this week, especially if Jerry Jeudy doesn't start. I think he can definitely get some work.
Yeah, out of that group, it's Mims or Downs, and yeah, I like that reason, Joey. The Jeudy being out puts it in Mims' favor.
Yeah, Mims, I just worry about him being like the chalk 3K player. Like I worry about him. I worry about him getting like 15+% rostership in contests. So that's kind of where I would pivot to Tutu Atwell. I do believe that he's going to have some, certainly to pay off a 3K price tag. If he can get like 5 catches for like 50 yards, you're already got there. So anything else is gravy. I think he could. That's certainly within his range of outcomes. Like Mims, I think can smash, but obviously if everybody else has him, or that's kind of why you're playing those 3K guys, is to get leverage on everybody else.
Right.
Good job, Kevin. All right.
We got Hearns in the chat saying, "Yo, shout out FYF, got that listener league invite, your boy Geekin. Many thanks." Thank you, Herms. Excited to play with you and draft with you tomorrow. But you're going down. Sorry to tell you.
Oh, big time.
I don't know.
Big time.
Sorry to tell you. Scott Fish in the chat said, Joey texted me about my tool this week, and I Venmoed him $40.
Out of context, that is absolutely true. I did text him about his tool, and he immediately Venmoed me $40. Both those things happened. There's context to it, but that's not fun if I tell you the context.
But you don't need it.
Leave that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Darrell asking, in a standard 2 QB league, super flex league, or 2 QB league in this case, this is his first time drafted 2 mobile quarterbacks in Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields. Is this okay? Yeah, that is okay.
That's you could Elway that and be like, I got Jackson and Fields. You're starting at the mountaintop. You might need to retire after that one.
That's very good. Yeah, you're killing it, Terrell. 2 QB league, you got 2 quarterbacks who have very well within their range of outcomes could be the quarterback one. So, you're doing fantastic.
You did 100%. Good.
You done good.
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning? Scott Fish saying, he got hurt today, hamstring. Did that matter for your pick, JL? I only saw that he was sick. Oh, no, that was last week, wasn't it? Shoot. I didn't see the hamstring tweet. So it might have mattered.
Chris, because they didn't practice. Him and Dobbs didn't practice today, so everybody was saying Jaden Reed season. I would say it's like nobody's season if it's Jaden Reed and the cadre of late round undrafted receivers that Green Bay has on the depth chart. Little worried there, but that actually maybe it's Musgrave season.
Christian Watson is who he's talking about, because I drafted 2 Watsons. That makes sense.
Same page, JL. I immediately went to Twitter. I was like, Deshaun Watson got hurt?
Nope. Yeah.
I hope not, because I have him and Scott Fishbowl. That's the one starting quarterback I have.
I forgot this was a super flex. This is an important lesson, people. Know your format, so that you don't make the mistake that I just made. I don't think I made a mistake, though. I like my team.
What was the mistake you just made? Dameon Pierce, you're saying? Or not taking a second quarterback?
Not to get a second quarterback.
When you drafted Justin Fields first?
Actually, let's look at where. No, I don't think I made a mistake. Goff, Smith, and Jones went where I would have taken instead of Pitts. I would have taken any of those 3 quarterbacks, hoping they would have fallen to me in the 5th round. So yeah, we live, we learn.
We live, we learn.
Value for Dustin is really great. Good job,
That's his
Dustin.
first running back off the board here, Cam Akers. You feel like that was where do you think Cam Akers should be going, Joey?
Between running back 15 and 20. So getting in the 7th round after. Well, Swamp taking 5, I don't want to say it skews everything off, but it a little bit. But still, I mean, he went as the probably 20th running back off the board. So I think Dustin got him at his floor, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
How you feel about Cam Akers this year, Kevin?
Look, I know there's a lot of like Kyron Williams smokescreen, how he might be deployed more in a receiving role, but I think Cam Akers, the one thing I'm worried about is the success rate of running backs with Achilles injuries is not great. So that's kind of my one pause, because we've seen guys just totally get crippled by, Arian Foster, Marlon Mack, guys like Deonta Foreman. So that's where I kind of worry with that. And maybe Cam Akers doesn't have the ceiling that, we thought he had, but at least as constructed in this offense, the Rams could be just, I think they're a lot better than what's the perception is. I think we still had the perception of the end of last year, where Baker Mayfield and Brandon Powell and Tutu Atwell, and Cam Akers was a league winner last year. So I think maybe not quite to that degree, but I still think Cam Akers can be certainly serviceable as a higher end RB2 with some RB1 week. So to get him there, I like it a lot.
Scampers, you naughty cat.
Oh, that cat going Jahan Dotson. And Joey, you were back on the clock here with your 7th pick.
Dotson was the top of my queue. 100%. It's who I was going to take. So I will settle for Jordan Addison. And I'll happily settle for him.
Jaddison.
Now where do I want to go?
Jaddison.
Stayed
at a Jaddison last night. Got a mint on my pillow.
There you go.
I don't get that.
I stayed at Radisson. They don't really have Radissons anymore, do they?
I don't know what that is.
They do.
It's a hotel chain.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Do they? I stayed at a Courtyard Marriott over the weekend with my wife.
There you go.
We watched every episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty because that's what she wanted to do.
Nice.
I enjoyed it.
Everett Scott.
Yeah, he was in it.
I'm a boomer. I don't know what that is.
It's a show.
It's an Amazon show, I think.
Yeah. It's on Amazon. They play a lot of Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo songs.
I mean,
really?
You had me at Taylor Swift.
Yeah. The way that I had it described to me to sell me to watch it was Dawson's Creek from the point of view of Joey Potter. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Yeah.
Whoa, I love Dawson's Creek, not gonna lie. Back in the day.
Every Wednesday. That was the show.
Let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens. That was a bad move. I shouldn't have done that. We'll see. Bryce Young here in the 8th as my 3rd quarterback.
I don't know if I like going 3rd quarterback.
We got Z Money in here with a question. He said, 10-man PPR. I have ETN and Ramondre Stevenson at running back. Am I fine, or should I be trying to look for someone else? Kevin, what do you think about these 2 running backs here?
I mean, a 10-man, if those are your top 2 running backs, I think you're sitting pretty, with at least 2 guys that, will certainly flirt with RB1 each week. I mean, I don't know what your bench is looking like, but can't ever really go wrong with at least trying to find options out there on, like a Ty Chandler, Sean Tucker, guys that could find their way into maybe more roles and, at least being bench depth. But at least as the starters, Etienne and Stevenson, like I'm, as a noted running back hater, I'm perfectly good with those two running backs being able to start them each week.
I agree. I assume you got some good wide receivers to go with that, so I'm cool with those guys.
Yeah, there's definitely risk with those two running backs. I am a noted ETN hyper, and there's risk in his situation, and there's even more risk with Ramondre's situation with Zeke there being there now. So I agree with my co-panelists here that you're fine, but in a 10-man, you might want to balance out a bit, get a little bit less risk of that running back position. But I wouldn't make any drastic moves, just maybe slight maneuvering.
Did you say Jurassic moves?
Drastic?
Drastic?
Jurassic moves.
My mind
Don't make any Jurassic moves.
Jurassic, yeah. Ian Malcolm's going to start walking out.
Yeah. Ian Malcolm moonwalks.
Carlos and he was like, guys, I've never done a Superflex league or a mock for Superflex. I'm just following along with what everyone else is doing. Well, this is a great opportunity then. If somebody is, for Carlos's sake here, and anybody else who is unfamiliar or hasn't participated in a Superflex draft, what are some of your guys' tips for a Superflex draft that's different from your normal one quarterback draft?
I would try to take a quarterback in one of my first two picks, if not both of them. I'm coming out of the first two rounds with at least one quarterback.
Yeah,
hopefully
that's where I'm at too. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I want to at least get one locked-in quarterback that I know can anchor quarterback, I guess, if you want to call it that. But you depending on how your draft falls. I mean, it's tough because I feel like maybe in some that are more conservative, that quarterbacks will go a lot quicker and earlier. So that's kind of what you have to weigh there too. But there's nothing wrong with, I tend to draft the quarterback very early and very late to try to capture like the best possible chance of a later quarterback too, being able to kind of play over his skis, I guess. Like Sam Howell, I drafted him to go with Herbert. So I at least have, two solid options, but getting a third is definitely kind of up to you, whether you want to just kind of stack your lineup or go with the safety of at least having two quarterbacks that you can start each week. So there's a lot of opportunity costs that you kind of have to weigh with that, but I do like Superflex. I don't play it enough. I tend to stick to the single quarterback, but definitely like it.
I highly discourage anyone from taking their third quarterback before the 10th round. And I'm only saying that because I still only have one, so no one should take a quarterback. Dang it. Who did it? Dame taking Brock Purdy.
That you're saying that because I said Bryce Young was a mistake.
No. I would have probably taken Bryce Young instead of Pickens there. Had you
Well, then I just did it to snipe you.
Good job, JL. Well, good sniping.
I did it. To add on to what Kevin said, I think, first of all, great advice from Kevin. One thing that I try to do is if my league goes super heavy at quarterback in the beginning, let's say I'm in the back, I'm picking from the back part of the draft, maybe picks 8 to 12. I'm not worried if there is a big run of quarterbacks and the right quarterback doesn't fall to me. I'm not reaching on quarterback if I don't have to. There are strategies that you can utilize to win in Superflex without having that premier quarterback. And if you were in the back of that first round, it's really going to depend on which players fall to you there, but be aware of that and don't be afraid to do something different. Don't make a decision from a place of fear in that situation.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Ooh, we got Jackson here with a question. Says, should I receive Jahmyr Gibbs from Michael Thomas? Should I receive Jahmyr Gibbs from Michael Thomas? I want Jahmyr Gibbs out of that. Yeah, receive him for sure. Receive the heck out of him if you can.
Can we please frame all trade questions in that manner, please? That was just so lovely.
Receive Samaje P. Ryan.
Yeah. Dustin in here saying Team Joey. Dustin, you were kicked off Team Joey today because that was the only quarterback that I like. You just took Love, and I wanted him. All right, I'm back on the clock. Let me just vomit real quick when I make this pick. Ugh.
CJ Stroud.
It might not be that bad. He checks down to Dalton Schultz about 10 times a game. We'll be okay.
Yeah, that JSN news though, like very surprising that JSN is expected to play in week 1 per Pete Carroll. So
that's awesome. Are you confident enough to throw him in your lineup, Kevin?
I mean, I have enough wide receivers where I could maybe just kind of take a peek and see how he's gonna be deployed week 1. I mean, these are all, kind of dependent on what your roster is like. If you have the flexibility to be able to wait out somebody like that, but I don't think he would just say he's expected to play and then run like 2 routes. I don't think that's going to be the case, because why would you even activate him in that instance? But look, I mean, he was already out there practicing like a week after that, which, is amazing in and of itself. He's running out there catching passes, body catching with a cast. So, say what you want with that, but it's certainly bullish to see him just be out there. And I think the thesis still remains that JSN can be the mid-season to late season hammer we were expecting him to. We're not expecting like week 1, automatic stud out of JSN. That was never the thesis of the play.
You were hoping that late or second half of like rookie wide receivers tend to break out in that second half of that season. And that's what you were hoping for with them, expecting that slow development. I got you. Yeah, so maybe we see JSN a little bit earlier than expected. I think that is, given the opportunity, he might make some of these big plays, and you might see his value skyrocket, right? Whenever we see these rookies who have these big week 1, week 2, week 3 performances, their value tends to over jump. It gets too high. And so keep that in mind. Keep in mind is week 1. We're going into week 1, and if you remember, every single year, week 1, you get every overreaction possible. One observation, one data point for each of these players, and everybody seems to know exactly how the season's going to play out. Use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
We got a question from Xavier in the chat that should I give up Wilson for Andrews and D-Hop? If I do it, I'll have the Lamar and Andrews stack. Garrett Wilson or Zach? Well, it's got to be Garrett Wilson, right?
Yeah, you would.
That doesn't make any sense if it's Zach Wilson.
Is this dynasty, Xavier? That's what I'd want to know.
It's a good question. I'm assuming not, since I didn't mention it. In which case,
man,
this is going to be a bit dependent on your league settings. Depending on how many teams are in the league and what the active roster configuration is, it might change those positional, like the values of each position, which could end up putting Andrews and Diop above Garrett Wilson in certain formats. But it's tough to say without that information.
I think you have the value there. You just said PPR 10-man league. Or wait, that's
PPR
Burpee.
10-man.
So ESPN full PPR, but then Burpee came in. I'm assuming Burpee plays with Xavier. In a 10-man league, I'm about getting the best player. Man, I might do it. Because having Andrews, yeah, I would do it. I would.
Yeah, I wanted to know if it was full PPR. That would have been the determination for me. I think it depends on what your wide receivers are going to be like after, because if you have another like stud wide receiver, like if you have like a Devonta Smith or something like that, where you can kind of maybe Hopkins would be the 2. I don't know if I'd depend on feel good with Hopkins as my 1, but getting Andrews is a game changer in and of itself. So I think I would do it, but it's very close for me.
Yeah, that is it is a close one, and I could see what you're saying there with DeAndre Hopkins not having the confidence in him to replace Wilson with DeAndre Hopkins.
He just came with a little more context. I'm all for the trade now.
You are. Okay, so Xavier came in and said, I would have Ridley and Cooper, and I still have DJ Moore on my bench.
Get Andrews. Go get him.
Get Andrews, yep.
Please receive Andrews and
please
Hopkins.
receive him.
Please receive Andrew.
Oh goodness. It reminds me of my grandmother when I was growing up. She would always, after we would pray at the dinner table, whatever, she'd go, "Did you receive the blessing?" And I'd be like, "I received it, Grandma." And my mom's like, "Stop it."
Did you receive the Jahmyr Gibbs? I did.
So I see Dame said she was trying to go ahead.
Z Money asking, how y'all feeling about George Pickens? He's my flex. Joey, how do you feel about George Pickens this year? You think he can deliver consistent fantasy production?
In a points per circus catch league, I think you've got quite a great player in your flex. In a regular PPR league or half PPR league, I think Pickens in your flex is going to be just great. I think he's going to get enough work. I don't think he's probably going to get as many receptions as Deontay Johnson, but I think he'll probably out touchdown him. So I think you're good, buddy.
Yeah. It like vibes based with Kenny Pickett looking pretty good in the preseason. That made you feel nice and warm and fuzzy, I think. Because, Pickens was kind of in that group of wide receivers when you're looking at, the Elijah Moores and Traylon Burks and guys like that, and then he's come up in ADP the last month or so, just a lot of it based on the preseason. It looks fantastic. If this Pittsburgh offense takes a big step up, I think, Pickens is coming along for the ride.
Which I'm expecting. I'm expecting that Steelers offense to take at least a step forward. I would be very surprised if at the end of the season, this team feels the same as it did right now.
Yeah.
We got Blurpy in here. Joey alluded to the question earlier, but we didn't hit on it. They asked, what's a better start to a draft? Stephon Diggs and Garrett Wilson or Bijan Robinson and Garrett Wilson? Ooh, what do you guys think?
I have Bijan ranked higher than Diggs, so I would say that's a better start. It's a little more balanced. But if you're in a 3 wide receiver league with 2 flexes, I don't think Diggs and Wilson is PPR 10-man. Man, that's tough.
Okay.
I would probably go Bijan. That's exciting for me.
Yeah, the 10-man gives a little bit of an edge to Bijan Robinson because there's just less running backs that can do that.
Yeah, I'm on the Bijan side as well. Being able to start out with Bijan and Garrett Wilson, you can't beat that as far as a running back wide receiver combo. You're talking about the guy who's I actually predicted that Bijan Robinson would be the 101 next year in 2024. So
dang, the 101.
The 101. Let's do it.
101. Wow.
The 101. Not a 101 or 102 like Joey asked me, but
I think it's a situation with Bijan of on paper, yes. The Falcons give so much work to the running backs that it makes sense. Talent for Bijan, yes. He was unbelievable at Texas. I think we just need to see it with our eyes one time, and then I think that's a really great take, Kevin. And I think it'll be a very popular take once we see it happen.
Yeah. That's why you're drafting him at 105, 106, 107. That's the trajectory. He's going to be the 101 next year. If even I don't even know if he what's underperforming. Anything less than 1,000 yards, but just with the way the Falcons run, with knowing the talent profile, I think he's automatically in with 1,200 yards, and then hopefully the Falcons offense can be a little bit more efficient in the passing game, which is going to give him more opportunities. Give me 1,500 yards, double-digit touchdowns. He's there, I think. Just with everybody else kind of aging out too. Another year older CMC, another year older Austin Eckler. I think he's the one that can kind of challenge Jefferson and Chase for being 101 as far as running backs go.
I would see him go 101 in Dynasty. So,
yeah. Carlos in here saying, "Damn, Team 4 looking nice." What's Team 4 looking like?
Sorry, I'm Team 5. Sorry.
Yeah. You made a mistake, Carlos.
Come on, Carlos, learn how to count.
Not the table, Carlos.
Lamar, Kenny Pickett, and then Nick Chubb, James Conner, AJ Dillon, Elijah Mitchell. Wide receivers are Chris Olave, DJ Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Is Team 4 nice, Joey?
I will say that there are weaknesses in the team that I would not want to have on my team.
That means it's not nice.
but I'm trying to be nice. I like DJ Moore a lot. That's probably my favorite pick out of the first 4 rounds that you made. I like Chubb a lot, Lamar Jackson, of course, but I'm a little worried about what Olave and Carr can do this season, and especially Juju Smith-Schuster. They say his knee could explode any moment now. As your wide receiver 4, I would hope to have a little bit stronger of a wide receiver in this deep of a format.
His knee's just like a live grenade.
That's what they said. I couldn't believe it.
The first thing I thought of was like the guy that's hovering over like the bomb. It's like the green wire or the red wire. Like when the time's ticking down, it's like 30 seconds left.
Carlos, I want you to know how badly that hurt me to say that out loud. I try to be nice, but I want to be honest too. It's my run my day now.
Dave saying I drafted Pirine to try and earn favor with Joey. Solid strategy.
Listen, I took Zach Charbonnet when I could have taken Pirine. Those are my 2 players. And I've been saying, like, don't tell Samaje, but I've been having a little affair with Zach Charbonnet lately.
That is the perfect mistress name too. Zach Charbonnet.
Right.
Sounds like a glass of wine.
It was the Charbonnet, wasn't it?
No. I was pitching I was pitching team names to my wife for her Survivor League for her work. And I was like, there's a player called Zach Charbonnet. It sounds like wine. She's like, there's potential there. I'm like, all right.
There is.
But she went with oh God. Shake It Offense. Like, because she likes Taylor Swift. What am I gonna do here?
While Joey's picking, Jack's came in with a question asking, can we rank DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, and T. Higgins? Yeah, I'll do this. T. Higgins, DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham.
I agree.
What do I win?
$10.
Do you agree with that, Kevin, or would you
win
put
this
them in a different order?
Same order. Higgins,
Same orders. T. Higgins, DeAndre Hopkins, and Odell. Draft accordingly, my friend. Great question.
Here's a fun trivia question. Which one of those jerseys does Kevin not have behind him? Because you have 2 of them, right?
Was that I don't have Hopkins.
I thought you had Hopkins. Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
I know you.
No, I like young receivers.
Okay, he's young, right?
Damn, brutal. You gotta do him like that. What did DeAndre Hopkins do to you? Oh no!
Block me on Twitter. That's what.
Oh, well, he probably deserved it.
Probably. No. You know why though? Is because I did a dynasty draft in like 2019, and I was at the point I tagged him. Like I drafted D. Hopkins, and he blocked me from that.
Oh man, shouldn't have mentioned him.
I know.
Did I snipe you on that and Dulcich?
You took Thielen, man. I love that.
Yeah, I did.
You're a booger.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do here?
Well, you figured out Kyle has a question for us. So, do I trade Breece Hall, Alexander Madison, and David Njoku for Aaron Jones, Kyle Pitts, and Jamal Williams in a redraft 10-team PPR league? And the other running backs are Madison, Akers, Pacheco, Achane, and Zeke. What do you think about this one, Kevin?
I think you'd be getting the better. It's tough because I do like Breece Hall mid to late season. He's the best player in this trade, if you ask me. Certainly the best by ADP. I think I'd still stand pat, even though I'm not a Alexander Madison guy there. Njoku Pitts, it's closer to a wash than anybody wants to admit. Jamal Williams, I think, is just locked into like 20 plus carries until Kendry Miller comes back, till Kamara comes back from suspension. I think I'm standing pat here.
Stand pat. I am going to take this trade. I like Breece Hall. When I look at your team before and after, you're going from Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams to Breece Hall and Alexander Madison. That in my mind is a massive upgrade. And going from Pitts to Njoku, while definitely a downgrade, isn't enough of a downgrade for me in redraft.
So what side are you on, JL?
So I'm on the Madison, Njoku, Breece Hall side.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So I guess I'm with you, Kevin. I'm agreeing, right?
We got there.
I can't
do this route, but we got.
I never know which direction we're doing the trade from. Joey, where are you in on this?
It's a 10-team league. The two, I would say, I won't even say elite, but just close to elite position players in this trade are both, for me, Kyle Pitts and Brees Hall. And then outside of that, I just like the Brees Hall side a little bit more for redraft for a 10-team league. So I guess I'm with you guys. It's tough, though. I think it's a pretty fair trade. I think you guys can both get a lot of value out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the end, we are not receiving Aaron Jones Pitts.
We are not receiving.
No.
They are being declined. We got Everett in here. The question says, yo, full PPR, trade Olave and Travis Etienne for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jonathan Taylor. I have Brees Hall and Jamal Williams, Alexander Madison, and Bijan Robinson. What about this one, guys?
You could have literally said any other active running back that's like in that range other than Jonathan Taylor, and I'd have been all for it.
Right.
Because I love Amon-Ra St. Brown so much. Ugh. You do have the running back depth to wait on JT.
Do it. I'm in.
I might do it. Because you would have Brees Hall, Bijan Robinson, and Jonathan Taylor. Or wait, no. You'd be getting Olave and Etienne.
Trade Olave and then getting JT, so then he'd have Brees, Jamal, Madison. That's Bijan. I mean, that's more than enough to be able to wait on Taylor and kind of that might be worth it for Amon-Ra alone, at least.
Yeah.
Might be. You're still giving up for Amon-Ra, but it's not like it's a total wash. It's not like you're just like totally sunk.
Yeah, I'm doing. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown so much more than I like Olave, and JT. I will like him when he's on the field better than Etienne. I just can't like him right now. Who did Dustin take?
What? Is that a human?
The
Hippenhammer? Hippenhammer is his last name.
They're getting goofy, guys. They're getting goofy.
Hippenhammer. I like it.
I will
Luke Musgrave, Jawan Johnson, and then Joey, you are now on the clock.
It's my favorite late round flyer of the year, John Mechie. I just want to see it happen for him, and I'm just going to will it into existence until it does. It might be in the XFL, but let's hope it's in the NFL.
It's the best part about week one. We get all this information, and then we overreact.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I guess I'll go Mr. Everett to close out this draft. And that is going to wrap up this Superflex redraft PPR mock draft. And I think that is the last one of the off season, boys.
Aw.
We did it.
Wow.
We did it.
I'm so far.
Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today, man. Oops, you're back.
Oh, I am back. Anytime, guys.
Yeah, if you're not already following Kevin, make sure you go follow him at K Tompkins II right there under his beautiful face. Thank you all for joining us, though. And if you aren't already, make sure you check out Better Sports Network on YouTube. And if you like this, Simon's got good news for you. I don't know. That's what he always says. I think it's good news. We are here every single weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, doing drafts, doing games, talking fantasy football just like this. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe to Front Yard Fantasy on YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. You ready to get out of here, boys?
No, I'm going to stay. I'm not leaving.
Joey's going to say.
Squatters right.
Yeah. I'm leaving. Right. I'm going to stay here the whole time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Wow.